Hey, Amy Posner here, part four of the four-part marketing series. Marketing, it's inevitable. It must be done, unless you can afford to outsource that particular part of your business to someone else. It's what you need. In addition to being good at your craft, you have to be good at making it rain, bringing in clients, bringing in business. So there's a lot of ways to do it. There's free, there's paid, there's short-term strategies, there's long-term strategies. I think it's important to find something that suits you. There's a million things actually that you can do, but what will you do? And that's the question, because I think, when you start thinking about all the things, then you get overwhelmed and you don't do anything. And it's important to be doing something, and it's important to be doing something consistently. And what I want to remind you is that we have this amazing ability to get in front of all the people we ever might want to work with for free. The internet's become so ubiquitous. Instead of thinking like, oh, wow, there's so much opportunity, we're like, there's so much opportunity. What must I do? But, I think back, I was in business pre-internet, and it was expensive. Getting the cost of getting clients was expensive, because we had to spend money to get in front of them, one way or another. And oftentimes, unless you were using some like direct mail or some direct response vehicle, you were getting in front of people with some medium that wasn't quantifiable. It was crazy. And now, you can get in front of people, with video, with audio, with written content, and in front of the people that interest you to work with, in most cases at no cost. Okay, there's a cost to you in effort, granted, but that's what I'm talking about here, is what is that effort going to be on your part? Are you going to do a video channel like this? Are you going to have a podcast or be a guest on podcasts? Are you going to put out written content? Do you have a list? Are you building a list? Are you putting out content to that list? Are you stuck in the like, what do I have to say? I think I've talked about this in every video, but I think it bears repeating that it doesn't matter. It matters. Of course, it matters what you say. But the point is that you've said something, because you have an opinion. Yeah, it may be like mine or like someone else's or like who knows whose has an opinion also. But when someone's going to hire you, they don't care what I think. They don't care what the next person thinks. They care what you think. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to show. So think about, if you don't know who you want to be in front of, think about your ideal audience, the people that you want to work with. And if you don't know who those people are, think about recent projects you've done. What did you like about them? What didn't you like about them? And then what are the ones you've liked most and why? It's not always, the actual work that you've done. Sometimes it's the people you've worked with, the work that you've done, how much you've gotten paid, how quickly you've gotten paid. There's a lot of things that factor in, and you need to know all those things. But by looking back and seeing what has worked well for you, you can determine who you need to be in front of. Now, you may be way ahead of that. You may know, exactly who your target audience is. You may know where they hang out. Talking about where they hang out online. It's also relevant to think about what they read offline and what they attend. Conferences are they going to? What events? Where can you get in front of them? I'll tell you, getting in front of people in person is powerful. It's expensive, but it almost always generates business if you do it with that in mind. And so that's something to know too. What is it worth to you to acquire a customer? That's a whole other discussion about lifetime value of customers. But that number, that lifetime value of customers, does tell you, what you can afford to spend to get a customer, right? If in my copy business, a repeat customer could be worth, multiple tens of thousands to me in a year. Is it worth spending a couple of $1,000s or $3,000, say, to, go to an event? Yeah, absolutely. If I could find two of those customers in a year at an event, it would be worth spending $5,000 or $10,000 to go and meet those people in person. On the other hand, maybe my audience is really easy to find online, and I can go get in front of them with videos or with audios or with articles and make a connection with them and get seen and get found. So my point here to you, I'm talking about the different methods you might choose. Find something that feels right for you and unique to you. When I started my copy business with a direct mail letter, I don't know anybody I didn't know anyone before, and I don't know anybody since who's done that to launch their business. It got me great clients, and it got me great clients right away. I did it because that was the background I had come from. That was familiar to me. Plus, I thought it would be fun because no one else was doing it, and sure enough, it was. In fact, I sent out a package with had a letter in it. It had a chocolate bar. The letter, I was trying to get them offline with a letter online to a custom URL to tell them a little bit about what I could do for them. But what was interesting was I got calls from 2 people called me just to tell me they loved it. It was so cool. They'd never gotten anything like that. And 3 people sent me something back, like sent me t-shirts. And just because they were like, this is so great. I got I sent this chocolate bar. Anyway, that was fun for me. And the numbers were great and it worked really well. It did. It wasn't expensive. It cost me a few $100s with the contents and the postage and so on. But think about what could work for you. Got a great idea. If you want to run it by me, I'll vet it for you. I've been teaching this for a long time, this marketing and prospecting and coming up with unique ideas. But I will close in saying this: the tried and true always works. You don't have to, reinvent the wheel. You don't have to do something, unique or different, but you have to do something. And the point is to find one thing and do it consistently over time and prove it out. Don't jump from one thing to another. Find something that you can stick to and you can do on a consistent basis. Your bank account will thank you because you have to get started with this at some point, and it's better to do it sooner rather than later. And to figure out, and like if you feel like, oh, I'm not quite ready to jump in, then my question would be, what can you do? What little thing can you do? Can you choose a social channel and do something minimal, like I've suggested before? Retweet someone else's tweet, comment on their tweets, get into conversations, get comfortable using your voice, because ultimately that's what you need to find. You need to find your voice, and you need to find a way that you feel comfortable getting it out into the world. Now, one more thing: if you don't feel comfortable, you have to do it anyway, even if you're not comfortable. The only way to get comfortable is to do it. The only way to get good at something is to be bad at it first. So be willing to be bad, be willing to get out there and do it. And I wish you the best success, because I love small businesses. I love small business owners. I love people that run their own show. And I know that this is the thing that people really struggle with. And so I just want to encourage you to find a way around that if you're struggling with it, because it's so important, and it's how you get to practice your craft, and it's how you get to be well compensated for your craft. So thanks for listening. Catch you next time. If you want to be notified when these videos drop, click the bell. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.